Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Fact Sheet Friday, where today we got about 6 fact sheets to go through, I think it is. Which maybe might be a bit of a letdown after last week's insane info dump, but there is some really cool stuff in there again. This week we have, to start us off, the New Holland FR 780. I am doing the lazy method of just recording my screen with OBS again. Because it saves me time. We're starting off with the FR 780 forage harvester, 364,000 to buy, 775 horsepower, 1200 litre fuel tank, top speed of 40 k's. It can do grass, forage and wood chips. You can change the wheel stop between standard and wide tyres. Again, Trailborg tyres on the New Holland. And also the 300 FP, the header, grass pickup header, 20,000 to buy, 3 meters wide or 10 foot wide, 12 mile an hour, 20 kilometer an hour working speed, and it can handle grass and... Can it handle hay? Hang on, that's looks like it could be hay. You might be able to forage up, well, you should be able to forage up hay actually. I used to be a time way back where there was a bit of a glitch. I'm going to say it was a glitch or a bug, I'm not entirely sure which, where you could also forage straw and turn that into chaff. That got patched, I think, in FS 15. Because a lot of people are using it to just get infinite silage, including me. So this looks like it's probably on the European map, judging by the mountains, I would imagine. And also the other vehicle that is being hidden currently by the actual fact sheet bit. We'll get to that in a second. Maybe a bit more of a hint of what's coming up next on the side there. I think this is the European map. Again, the lighting system is just glorious. I actually, the more I see it, the more I love the new beacons. Small little detail, I know, but the beacons. They look like real beacons now. They're not just like textures on things, they look like real beacons. And as well as that, the lights, the working lights, are for some reason on in the middle of the day. Okay. I'm not going to question that. The working lights are on. It looks like the forage particle system is going to be about the same as it was in FS17, as is the pickup particle system. So some things get, the more things change, the more some things change, stay the same, I suppose. Next up is the JCB FasTrak 8330, the 8000 series FasTrak. It's a tractor, believe it or not. You might not believe it, but that's a tractor. 310,000 to buy, 348 horsepower, 600 litre fuel tank, 70 kilometer an hour or 43 mile an hour top speed. You can change wheel stop or wheel brand. You can choose between standard wide tires and communal. Again, Trailborg tires in the picture here. And on the back of it you have the Krampa KS950. It is a trailer. It looks to be actually a trailer for a truck. I think, I may be wrong, that looks like a fifth wheel in there. 62,000 to buy, 48,000 litre capacity. You can again change the wheel brand, and it can take trailery things. I'm not going to go through what it can take because it can take pretty much everything. A lovely high def here. You can see the bits of paint missing off the building in the background. I'm actually just having a quick look to see if there's any wear visible on the JCB or the trailer. It looks like there's not, but I'm quite enjoying the a bit of a better look at the texture of these buildings, because something I've kind of been saying privately, and I've not made this too public because I wasn't 100% sure, is the textures of the buildings seem very flat. And now that we got a better look at this 4K image here, no, I have to call myself out and say that I was wrong, because there's a nice kind of mottled texture to the paint, and the bits where it's missing make kind of sense. Looks like there were like holes or wear in the building and they've just been kind of plastered over. And as well, in behind the wing mirror of the JCB, you can see bits of where like a paint or whatever that is spattling is coming off, and just kind of bits that are missing where it makes sense. The giant, what looks to be a pile of mud on top of the building, I'm not too sure of. If somebody managed to throw mud up there, I'm honestly kind of impressed. On to the next fact sheet now. It is the case Puma. So the Puma is making another appearance, and the Bridal K165. The Puma is a tractor, 188,000 to buy. You can go between 225 and 270 horsepower, so it's probably going to be a medium to large tractor in game. The JCB, by the way, is probably going to be regarded as a large. Although I think it's by physical size, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how they're categorizing tractors. I think it's physical size, because I was looking through the website last night or the night before, and I was pretty confused by the categorizations. 390 litre fuel tank, 31 mile an hour, 50 kilometer an hour top speed. You can change wheel brand, wheel setup, engine setup, and put on a front loader attacher. The wheel options available are standard wheel weights, wide tires and weights, narrow tires, rear twin wheels, and the communal tires that still haven't really been shown off. Kind of curious about what the communal tires are. And for the Bridal K165, it's a fertilizer spreader, 67,000 to buy. Options between 15,600 and 18,950 litres. You can have a 12 metre. It's got a 12 metre spread, 20 kilometer an hour working speed, or 12 miles an hour. You can change the wheel setup, the spreading system, and the capacity. The spreading system options are the spreading discs, which I presume is what this is, or the 6 metre spreading unit, which I'm not sure which option this is. This could be the spreading unit. It probably is, because I don't see any discs. That's an interesting new change that I didn't... Okay. That's very interesting. It can take fertilizer and lime. Let's go over to the UHD so that I can show some stuff off here. So, first things first, the case looks extremely red. It seems more red than ever. The redness levels are increasing. Secondly, the Bridal looks like it's really nicely modelled, as we've kind of come to expect from FS19 stuff. You can see there's little folds and imperfections here with the cover on it, and what looks to be a small bit of dirt here in this area and over here as well, where fertilizer just hasn't gone far enough and it's kind of piling up a bit, or has been launched and has stuck to the paintwork. But down here in this corner, which I'm going to have to be very careful not to cover with my logo, you can actually see the lime texture, and actually in underneath the particle system. But here, down at the bottom, you can get a really good look at it. It's just quite spattling on the field. And that's what it is in real life. That's what lime looks like in real life as well. So the light here, if we want to have a quick look at the lighting system, which I always do, is coming almost straight down. You can see that the shadows are almost immediately below everything, so that might be why everything, like, this picture kind of struck me immediately as being a bit flat, and then I looked at the shadows and thought, oh, hang on, the sun is directly above, so there's not going to be many lighting effects going on. There is a thing in, I think it's Hawaii, in real life, where at noon on certain days you can have like traffic cones and stuff with the sun directly above on traffic cones and you know, bollards. They have no shadow, so they look like they're really badly rendered into video games. So this is just kind of a video game representation of the weirdness that can happen in real life when the sun's almost directly overhead as well. And again, Trelleborg tires and everything, which I really want to see these alternate tire options. Here we go with some interesting stuff. The new Manitou, the MLT 737130 PS Plus, the telehandler, 98,000 to buy, 129 horsepower or 95 kilowatts. I have no idea what a kilowatt is in terms of an engine, but it's 95 kilowatts. 120 litre fuel tank, top speed of 40 k's or 24 miles an hour for those of you using Freedom units. You can change the wheel brand and wheel setup. Again, Trelleborg tires on in this picture. And you can choose between standard and communal tires. Again, standard tires. We've not seen these communal tires that have been available on so many pieces of equipment. I really want to see it. And the Magsy shovel, telehandler attachment, 2,800 to buy, 2,640 litre capacity, and it can carry things what a shovel can carry, including, as in this picture, lime. So let's have a look at the picture itself. You can see the lime pile over here on the left. Lime obviously in the bucket. This is the fertilizer spreader without the cover on. It's the same fertilizer spreader as in the previous picture. And the lighting being just delicious. I love it. I love how it's just catching, you know, bits of the metalwork just right to ping light everywhere, especially this area. This is just, oh my god, I love the lighting system. You can see actually the Manitou kind of embossed on the white area down here. I feel like, and I'm gonna be a bit honest here, and I apologize to anybody who might get offended or take offense to this, but I think modders are going to be very, very hard pressed to improve upon Giants models in FS19, and improve upon what Giants are doing, because Giants have really taken this, you know, they always take models a step forward, and you can kind of compare the older models to the newer models in games. There's some models in FS17 that are that are brought forward from FS15 and even FS13. The quad track being a good example of that. And if you compare that to, we'll say, the MT900 Challenger, you can see there's a massive difference in quality, whereas in FS19, from what I understand, most, if not all of the models are basically brand spanking new and custom built for FS19, so you can, there's just so much more detail. Usually there's a step in quality between games. I think between 17 and 19 there's 2 steps. Although you can, I've just noticed, I don't know if the real thing has this, but I've just noticed something that might be a modeling artifact here. If you look right here, you can see a couple of janks where there's polys. You can see one just here, it's quite small, and another quite small one here where the polys maybe aren't, maybe there was a limitation, it's just kind of low poly happening there. But, you know, proof that it is a model, not a real world picture, I guess. Moving on, we have the forklift. The Manitou forklift that pretty much everybody is universally delighted about. Because Farm Sim, I feel, with the pallet system in now, needed a forklift for use basically at the shop. You can use it anywhere, but basically at the shop. And that's probably what I'll be using this forklift for, is just keeping it at or near the shop. And maybe having one at the yard to shuttle around pallets of stuff. Also encourages you to make potato and sugar beet pallets, which I presume will still be in the game. It's the MC18-4, it's a forklift, 37,000 to buy, so a nice cheap entry to the pallet lifting world. 36 horsepower, which, you know, a forklift doesn't need too much horsepower. 71 litre fuel tank, again, doesn't need much fuel, especially for a small 36 horse engine. And a top speed of 25 kilometers an hour or 15 miles an hour. This is kind of a perfect candidate to go on the back of a low loader of some sort. Maybe, I don't know, I kind of hope there's going to be a small low loader, not the big big giant semi-truck trailers that are in FS17. I hope there's a smaller one that can go on the back of a tractor or on the back of a pickup truck, perhaps, in FS19, but as of yet, we do not know. Moving on to the UHD, the 4K version of the picture. Yeah, this forklift just looks stunning. It looks amazing. I've got to applaud Giants for the... This, I think, is Giants listening to the community. It's got a different beacon to most everything else as well. It's got kind of its own unique beacon, because forklifts tend to have quite stubby beacons. Just, I don't know why even, but they do. But I really feel like the forklift being added is Giants kind of listening to the community and putting in something that makes perfect sense with the way the game now works. Because I felt it was something missing from FS17. I felt like with the pallet system in, the lack of a forklift was kind of a bit strange. So I'm glad to see that there is one in FS19. We'll be able to have one at the shop ready to use if we want to. Moving on to, I think, the final fact sheet of the day. Yes, it is the Fendt 500 favorite. Nice old Fendt. Ooh, it's tractor 76,000 to buy. 85 to 110 kilowatts or 115 to 150 horsepower, 210 litre fuel tank, top speed of 50 k's, 31 miles an hour. Options available are the wheel setup, the wheel brand, the engine setup, and you can put on a front loader if you really want to. Wheel options are standard wide tyres and narrow tyres, rear twin wheels, rear narrow twin wheels, normal twin wheels, and the mysterious and absent again communal tyres. And the Strautmann SEK 802, which I've probably mispronounced Strautmann, but I tried. It's a trailer. Look at the trailer. 8,000 euro to buy. Capacity of between 4 and 12,000 litres, and I would argue this is a 0,000 litre capacity. So technically, I'm going to call Giants out on this one. Technically, Giants, Lars and Martin and whoever else does the fact sheets, the capacity options here should be 0 to 12,000 litres. The options available are capacity, wheel brand, the cover, bale, loading wagon configuration, which this is in. This is in bale wagon configuration, I would believe, and it carries trailery things as well. I'm adamant this should be with the bale loader wagon config. The capacity should be alterable between 0 and 12,000 litres, because you ain't gonna get much grain on that. Let's have a look at the UHD. That's my only complaint, other than maybe these to some people maybe being a bit of a letdown from last week, after the insane amount of kind of community loving that went on with last week's fact sheets. These ones, I don't know if there's as much stuff that is going to be super exciting, but the nice old Fendt is always good to have. We've yet another different kind of beacon. This one's more rounded, so plenty of beacon options available in FS17. Good news for the modders out there, of course. I have noticed, and I've not pointed it out, but I have noticed this. It looks like the different Trelleborg tires on different tractors. I'm actually going to go back to... Yeah, this is a different tire. This is a Trelleborg as well, but it's different to the one on the Fendt. If I go back to this, it's a Trelleborg as well, but it's, again, different to the one on the Fendt. And I think it's even different... Yeah, it's different to the one on the Forklift, even. If I go back to the case, it's... I think this one actually has the same or similar tires to the Fendt. But the JCB, you can't really see the tires too well. But it seems like they've got more of a range of Trelleborg tires in with different cuts and grooves and notches. So that's kind of something that I've kind of been noticing over time and not pointed out. But I think this week kind of highlights the fact that the different tires will look different, which is really nice. And again, I think Giants are getting really good at taking screenshots because this looks stunning. The tire deformation on the trailer looks nice. It does look, however, as if there's a bit of a jank going on there. I can't help but feel like that's... Can I zoom in, please? Is that a shadow or just... that? Yeah, something doesn't look right about this area here. I question it. And yes, I can zoom if I want to. So here's the beacon I like. Look at that beacon. Because I actually forgot I could do this. So what else is worth looking at here? I just kind of want to zoom into the grill here. Nothing really. I actually do like how you can see here that the inside of the lights are reflective and they are fully modelled. Or if not fully modelled, they're definitely modelled more than they ever were. And again, the same up the top. And they're actually reflecting different things to the lower lights, which is to be expected. You got your air filter here. I believe this is the air filter at least. and your exhaust over here. You don't want them too close together because otherwise exhaust will get into the air filter and just cause a mess. There's the diesel tank. This is a probably a tractor that won't take AdBlue because Simulate actually reminded me last week that AdBlue is going to be a thing in FS19. I completely forgot about it. The case here will probably take AdBlue, as almost definitely will the FasTrak. Is there any sign of an AdBlue tank here? Yes, actually, I think this is the diesel. I want to say this is the diesel fill. No, this would probably be the AdBlue, wouldn't it? Because it's straight down, then a diesel fill point or fill nozzle there. But back to the Fendt. Is there anything really cool or interesting about this picture? Actually, not about the tractor or the trailer here. I really like the doors on this shed. I think they're very nice doors. And also, the little crack on the wall there, that's tiny detail, but I keep saying it's the tiny stuff that you barely notice that really makes the game. And again, the cracks on the ground there, the different kind of ways that the rocks are catching the light here. Like, these are in shadow, but because light is obviously going to get around the shadow slightly, and you can see the blurry edges on the shadow, which is also nice. There's always going to be bits that are lit up if it's rougher ground. But yeah, I think that's about all really I can talk about, or I want to talk about with these fact sheets. I do want to point out actually as well one final thing, that the pallets for seeds and fertilizer, or fertilizer and seeds, I can't remember which one's which, they're more or less identical to the way they were in FS17. I don't think they needed much changing. I still think that big bags would be a better way to go, but giants do what they want to do. Pallets might be more popular in Germany and in mainland Europe, but I know in the UK and Ireland, which is where most of my knowledge is agriculturally, it's usually bags that fertilizer and seeds comes in. So that's the only minor quibble I have with the pallet system. But that is going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your thoughts on this week's fact sheets down in the comment section below. I'll be back again soon with more content of some description. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching the latest set of fact sheets for Farming Simulator 19. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.